I would like to acknowledge the traditional people of the land on which this podcast is being recorded. I pay respect to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples today. Hello and welcome to It's Her Business, the podcast for female founders who are ready to create and grow the business of their dreams. I'm your host and new business bestie, Alannah, and I'm here to give you the practical tools and mindset shifts needed to reach your next level of success. Along with some insightful solo episodes, I'll be joined by trailblazing female founders who have grown iconic businesses and brands. Together we'll share their stories, successes, and of course their secrets for business growth. Whether you're just starting out or scaling up, we're here to hold your hand, give you some tough love, and challenge you to dream bigger. Are you ready? Of course you are. Let's dive in. Welcome to the first episode of the potty. Yay! It's me, myself, and I here, coming to you for a little chit chat before we get into the main chat that you're all here for with the beautiful Tara Pavlovic-Sheperdson. She's an author, she's a mum of two beautiful toddlers. She is a busy woman and she is also one of the funniest women on the internet. I just find her so hilarious and that really translates in this interview. So I cannot wait to share it with you. If you're tuning in for the first time, which would make sense being the first episode, I just want to say welcome. If you are in business, if you are someone that wants to be in business or you're just curious, I am so excited to bring you a mix of interviews with incredible female founders as well as some solo episodes with myself where we can get to know each other a bit better. I'll share all of the goss, all the tea on marketing, mindset, and so much more. So really excited to have you here on this little corner of the internet. Cannot wait to share so many chats. And just on that, you can probably hear, and maybe if you don't know me, you probably won't notice. I'm not sure. But I have lost my voice for the last week, and the irony of losing your voice while launching a podcast is not lost on me, but I do sound a little bit funny, so I apologize if I'm a bit crackly or husky. It's not the case in the main interview, but I'm recording this little last bit of the episode on my bedroom floor the night before the podcast launches, so I wanted to quickly let you know how excited I am that you found this potty and cannot wait to share so much more with you in the next weeks, months, years. Tune in to find out. But without further ado, let's get into the chat with Tara. A huge thank you to Barebones for caffeinating and sponsoring this podcast. Now's your chance to pause the potty, go and make a cup of comforting liquid gold, and settle in for some incredible insights and inspiration. If you're a coffee lover, you're in good company with Barebones. Roasted locally here in Brisbane, the love and passion that goes into every bag of coffee is second to none. Shop online at www.barebones.com.au and use the code IT'sHerBusiness for 15% off your order. Or visit one of the hundreds of local cafes who lovingly brews Barebones. Now let's get into the episode. Tara, welcome to the podcast. We have a little game to start with, just a little icebreaker. It's called Finish My Sentence. Usually you do games at the end of the potty, but I really want to just dive right in, get all of your secrets up front. So hopefully nothing's off limits today.
Yeah, no, all good. Go for it. I hope I'm not too rude. What do you call it?
Too rude? Never.
Sometimes like you just get the worst thing that comes to your head and you just blurt things out.
Yep.
That's me. Like you just blurt things out.
That's going to make for...
It's going to be like sensible.
No, it's fine. Anything you say, we're unfiltered here. We love that.
Okay.
We love that. Okay, so this is a finish my sentence. So I'll start the sentence and you're going to finish it.
Okay.
So firstly, my friends would describe me as...
Fun.
Yeah.
Kind.
I can see that for sure. At the cafe, I'm ordering
a medium latte on almond milk.
Oh, I love that. I'm the same.
I do that every time I get to the cafe. And they're like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, And I have to think about it every day. I order it every day.
Panic order?
I just can't remember it. That's why I just said it this morning and I've just forgotten it again, like what my order is. How do I forget every day I have to try and remember what my order is?
It's because we have 2 toddlers.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, from following you, I kind of might know the answer to this, but at the bar, I'm ordering
a vodka, lime and soda.
Oh, good choice. And you were doing a bit of a drinking ban, a dry Jan?
Yes.
Is that still going?
Yeah, I'm doing a dry, like, Jan to end of March. It's been going well. I've been loving it.
Yeah.
I've been loving it.
I kind of didn't intend to do the same, but I had a big night in December for my brother's 18th. We have a big age gap. So I was like, okay, I need to, give him the proper welcome to adulthood. And since then, I've just not been drinking. And it's actually
like a massive night.
Oh, look, it was big. It wasn't anywhere up there with my worst hangovers, but I feel like I just knew that I needed a break. And I'm not a big drinker, like I hear you say. I think we're kind of similar in this, that it's not about like not drinking every night, because I'm not a nightly drinker, but when I go out, I will go to town.
You send it, yeah.
Absolutely. And are you the same?
Oh, look, I sent it way too hard on January 1st. Way too hard. That's like a whole other podcast. Anyway, woke up with the absolute horrors. Nick's just looked at me and gone, and I'm like, oh my God, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done drinking.
And I find, I don't know if you found this, but it's almost easier to not sort of be like, oh, I'll have one or have, one here or there, or kind of have to be in that limbo. Sometimes it's easy to just be like, no, I'm just not drinking, and be like a hard and fast no.
Exactly, because I'm never one, like if I'm like driving to an event, like I won't have any drinks because I always feel so scared. Like, what if I'm that person that goes over with one? So like the fact that I can just drive somewhere and just go, I'm not drinking at all, and just drive home has been so good.
For sure. And I don't know if I'm totally digressing here on our business podcast talking about alcohol, but
it's okay, it's all related.
Exactly. When you're pregnant, right, you go through obviously periods of not drinking, and then, you're either breastfeeding or you have a little one and you're bottle feeding, but either way, alcohol's obviously far from the front of your mind. And then our kids are sort of similar ages. So I feel like the year I kind of stopped breastfeeding Sadie and she got a bit older to leave with grandparents, or, you go for more of the girls' nights or the date nights or whatever it is. And I just noticed last year I was drinking probably more than I needed to or felt comfortable with.
Yep.
Does that kind of resonate?
Yep. After Edie Ray was born, definitely Nick and I were like, even like it would be like a Thursday, and we're like, do you want a glass of wine? And we're like, we never do that like midweek, like ever. And then I was like, this isn't good. Like, this is not, I don't want to be like a midweek drinker. Like, I want to be someone who drinks at an event and like kind of that's it. So I was like, nah. But I guess when you haven't drank for that long, it feels good to just be able to do it again. Like, it's like, I haven't been able to do this in ages. Like,
right. It's like coming off, I guess, a hardcore diet and having like something sweet. You're like, oh my God, I want more of that in some ways. And I digress, but I thought that was an interesting point because I just watched through socials you kind of going on that journey and wondered how it was kind of playing out. And obviously it's been an amazing change for you in the last, what's it now? It's mid-Feb. So it kind of been like 6 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, it's been amazing. Like, you do notice a difference. Because like you can just stick to everything so much better because you're not having that like, like it would probably be like once a fortnight where I'd have an event on and I'd drink and then I'd just feel dusty, and I feel like it takes me like 5 days to actually get back to normal these days.
Yeah, and I never understood this when I was younger, but that post-alcohol anxiety, like the next day, even if you don't have a massive amount, still feeling a bit like, oh, did I say something stupid? Did I do something stupid? Just that feeling is so horrible.
Yeah.
And I just notice even in my husband when he drinks, because he is not doing a dry period and he kind of has that feeling the next day, and I'm just like, is it worth it? Like, I'm definitely not saying I'll never drink again. I definitely will. But I think it can shift your relationship with alcohol after having kind of a period by choice, because I guess in pregnancy it's not necessarily a conscious like, oh, I'm not having alcohol. You're just not doing it because you can't. So this feels a bit different.
Yeah. Do you know what? It actually was like like I love a pub, and I went out with my friends on Saturday and I was sober, and the people watching while you're sober at a pub, we were at Cooley Hotel too, so it's like loose, was amazing. It was like the best fun to be sober and just watch all of the other drunk people. It's what people used to, like they would have done to me. I would have been the person that was being watched, and now I'm watching and it was like a reality show, but like really unedited. It was so good. It's like my new favorite activity.
And wake up the next morning at, 6, 7, whatever time in the morning.
Go for my walk.
Yeah, so good.
Have my coffee and my eggs and just go about my day.
I love that.
Yeah.
I feel like I could talk to you about this for the whole podcast, but in the spirit of getting to our point, I will keep going. This is an interesting one, and I think as a mum, this might skew your answer, but I never leave home without, other than the kids.
Oh, my phone?
Yeah.
My phone, always. That's about it. Well, obviously I need my keys too.
Yeah.
But my phone. When I went to foster, I had no service on my phone for like a week, and I couldn't even believe how much I couldn't do. Like how much I use my internet, my maps. Like I use maps to get anywhere. I use maps to get to like Burleigh from my house in Mudgee Bar. Like just to use it, just to see what's the fastest way.
And to know like the ETA and it updates. And I'm a bit the same. I just like having it on, and even your bank, like there's so much
Banking.
Now that, I don't even know how to get cash out anymore.
Yeah.
So, well, actually I do. You can do it through the app. But isn't that crazy? Like
It's
literally
crazy.
if we lost our phone, you'd lose like so much.
Yeah, it was like hectic.
Yeah.
I felt like I was like living in the bush or something.
Even if it's not on trend, I'll always love.
Oh, God. You know what? Leopard print.
Oh.
And I feel like it's never on trend. And there's never been a leopard print trend, but I just rock it because I think it's just the best print ever.
It's
I know,
so
call me like 60, but I think leopard's cool.
But it's funny because leopard is actually never not on trend as well. Like I can't think of a time where there's not leopard in a shop, right?
It's all there. It's always there. It always works
It's
around.
always lingering.
Yeah, it's always lingering. Like it's just always around. It's never but heaps of people hate it. But I mean, I don't care. I don't follow trends. I just wear what I like.
Yeah.
I've never been one to follow trends. I just kind of a lot of trends look so dumb on me. Like
I saw was it last year the capri pants came back, like denim capris. I don't think they made it like full mainstream.
Pedal
yes,
pushers?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm just like some trends are just not worth getting on board. But then I do find some trends you see so much you start to buy into.
Yeah, it becomes like not a trend anymore. It's just like something that's so normal.
And
I never jump on a trend first go. Like I'm never a trend setter person. I'm just like this skirt is from 3 years ago.
I love, but they're both like timeless pieces and that's what you want in your wardrobe, right? Not the things that in 5 minutes you're like, oh, TikTok told me I can't wear this.
No, even like vests. Remember like vests are in, so I bought this, but only because it kind of opens up, but like a vest, like, you know, the vest everyone's wearing? Like,
I do have one, but it took me a little bit to come around to it.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't wear it that much. And that's a good example maybe of when I've bought into a trend that I thought I should like, but it didn't. It's kind of a high neck one.
Yeah.
Like yours is a beautiful, like, low neck, like it's versatile, right?
Yeah.
The one I bought, I'm like, oh, I feel like a dental assistant or something in it. Like I feel clinical, and I don't wear it.
Yes, clinical. Yeah. There's so many things that I put on and I'm like, no, it's just not me.
Yeah. No, 100%.
The long socks with the joggers.
Oh, yes. No, I can't get into that either.
No, I look, if I'm flying or if I'm going to try and do a run, I will pop a pair on. Or if my ankle socks are dirty and it's my last resort, I will. But my God, they're shocking.
Yeah, no, I can't get around that trend, to be honest.
And the hipster pants?
Yeah, it gives me Christina Aguilera vibes, like dirty, circa 24, maybe, 2004.
That's just like, I can't wait for the 20-year-olds to get older and try and do the hipster trend after kids. Like,
yes,
go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you'll know why we don't follow the trends, because we don't look good in them.
Yeah, I
Stop
know.
judging us.
I'll never let go of my high waist ever.
High waisted
All the way.
for life.
And one of the things that surprises people about me is
It's always my height.
really
If I meet people in person, they're like, "Whoa, you're tall.
Yeah.
I thought you were short."
How tall are you?
I'm not that tall. I'm like 173 centimeters. So
Oh yeah,
like that's tall-ish.
Yeah.
But like I think I look small in my on my social media.
that's so interesting.
Yeah, it's people are like, "Whoa,
Well, I think I'm
like you're big."
5'4", which is like probably according to Google average. I just remember always being told like, oh, your average height. So 10 centimeters above that. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, you're in the tall category.
Yeah, I would be in the tall category, but I'm not like tall category. But people are still like, "Wow."
And my dream day looks like.
Oh, I reckon, gosh, this is a hard one because it's like, do I include the kids in this? Because it's like my dream day, like, surely they've got to be in it somewhere. But then also, like, I need a break.
Yeah.
I reckon my dream day, right, if we're just like my dream day from like a normal day point of view, like we could do like a fake dream day, but let's just go normal Monday to Friday dream day.
Yeah.
Just wake up with the kids. There's no tantrums. They're just happy to be alive. And they're happy that it's a kindy day. And we have a nice breakfast together, get them to school on time, go for a nice 5K walk, get a coffee. I go home and I focus on the housework. I don't do too much work. I'm just focusing on the housework. The house is beautiful and clean. Beautiful dinners cooked. I get to call my friends. I'm, communicating with them all day. And then I go get the kids from kindy and they come back to the beautiful house. Nick comes home as they come home, so I have some assistance and we have a nice dinner together. They just go to bed nicely. They're just off. They're like, good night. They grab their own things. They
Tuck
brush their
themselves
own
in.
teeth. They change their own nappies.
I love that.
Nick and I get to watch a movie together.
Yeah, that sounds like the
And there's
dream.
no work. My work's all done. I don't have a to-do list. It's gone.
I love that. That is actually the dream day.
Yeah.
Isn't it? And sometimes it's the simple things, right? Like it's not the going on a yacht or like not crazy. But it can literally be a morning that feels a little bit effortless because it's kind of rare.
Very rare.
That feels so special or just like,
There's
just
no
the little
crying
things.
on kindy drop-offs. It's just like they're happy. They're like, bye, mummy. They're like, have the best day. We're going to eat our dinner tonight. Cook us whatever.
We'll eat anything. Give us a broccoli, something.
We love veggies.
Yeah, I love that. That's so good. Oh, well, Tara, you're one of mine and I think half of the internet's favourite people to follow online. Genuinely, you are so funny and you are so authentically you, which I think is sort of rare for social media and why you stand out online.
Oh, thank you. I always get so awkward receiving compliments like that. I'm like, even when my friends are with me and people come up to me and they'll just be like, I follow you, I love you. Like my friends are like,
and we feel like we know you. Like
it's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very authentic. It's weird to get compliments for it because it's literally just me.
You being you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like I haven't done anything, but it's like, yeah. I don't know how. It's just weird to like be like, thank you.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And it can just be uncomfortable, period, getting any sort of compliment.
Yeah.
You're like, our body kind of feels a bit like, oh, how do I sit with that one? That's like,
I guess like,
funny.
Yeah, it is. It like some lately, like say like my people at the local coffee shop, they're like, God, you're looking great lately. Like, good on you. Like you've been putting so much hard work into like your fitness and stuff. I'm like, thank you. And I can kind of accept that a little bit more. But when people like, oh, like I love you, like you're like, I just love you. I follow you and I love you. I'm like, oh my God. So like, it's just like I haven't done anything.
I think we just feel like we're your friend. And I mean, I've met you, I think 3 or so times now, but I feel like I've known you for longer because you just get such an ease around you. Like you've got a comfortable energy.
Well, that's nice.
And I think that's what it is. Honestly, if I had to make it tangible, it's because you feel like you actually know the real you and it's not like I meet them, but then they're actually like this. It's like what you see is what you get.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's really nice. And that's what I hope. Like, that's what I hope for.
Yeah. Well, I think you've definitely nailed that. and you're a mum, you're an author, you're a business owner. But I'm curious to know, does the term entrepreneur, like, does that resonate with you? Do you feel like a woman in business?
No, no. Even when you asked me to come here, I was like, are you sure? Like, I'm not. But I'm not, I was like, I don't know. Like, remember I emailed you back, I'm like, I'm not a businesswoman, but you're like, but you are.
You
and
are,
like,
you totally are.
No, I'm not. Like, I'm not. What do you mean? But like, I do have my business. Like, everything I do goes like through my business. I've got my book, which is amazing. But I guess like, I think like everything I do is so, what do you call it? Like passion based. It's never, I always see like business as like a big like, I don't know. It's like it's what you're doing to make money. And I am making money. Like I'm making money, but I'm only like really making money through things I'm passionate about. So it doesn't feel like business.
Yeah. Like it doesn't feel like, I mean, I'm sure it feels like work at times.
Yeah.
But it's coming from such a place of like creativity and like passion that it feels so natural. Is that kind of what you mean?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And I guess like also, and I'm curious if this resonates as well, like as a mum of two and, you know, I run a business as well, but so rarely does it look like me dressed up and sitting, you know, even here. Well, more often now it does, now launching a podcast, but that still is really the minority. Like we had a social media event in January that you came to and it was amazing. And I went home and parked my car and hopped out of my car and sat on the driveway and my kids were riding their bikes. They didn't care. Like no one, like life moves on and sometimes you're like, oh, I kind of feel like I run a business, but then I also just feel like a really like average, not that, that's probably not the right word, but what I mean is like it just, you feel so natural in your kind of groove that it doesn't feel like that men in suits business kind of, it's not that vibe at all, right?
No, definitely not. And even like being a mum influencer, like my business is kind of my everyday.
Yes.
Which is weird. So the lines are very, very blurred between what is work and what is my real life because literally I'm sharing my real life as work.
Yeah.
Which is weird because you can't like, I can't just do collabs and not do anything else. Like I've got to be a relatable person and like my whole point of my social media is it's like a community where women feel seen, heard, and feel less alone. Like I want everyone to know that their lives are normal. I want everyone to know that we go through ups and downs. Like no one's kids are perfect. No one's marriage is perfect. No one's lives are perfect. And that is normal. Like I really want to normalize that. So I really love sharing the ups and downs of like marriage and parenthood. I just love that so much. But then I also need to make income. So I do the collabs and I have my current, like my partnerships that I have, my ongoing partnerships, my one-off ones. So yeah, it's very blurred the between the two.
Can you talk us through a typical, say, a daycare day where the kids are at daycare, you kind of have the one-on-one time to obviously do everything we've got to do because I know I drop my kids at daycare and obviously the work is one thing, but then there's the house and the hundreds of things. But from a work perspective, what does that kind of look like a day in your work life?
It kind of like every day is so different depending on what I have on. A lot of my day goes to running the household. So I'm a mum. The mum and the household running is like first and foremost. My health is, well, actually my health I kind of put first and foremost, but they're kind of mixed because like my food prep is the kids' food prep type thing like that. But I always make sure I like get my exercise in and like that has to happen. And often I will film a lot of my content during the day when it's good lighting. And then once the kids are asleep, I will stay up later and I'll do editing and like do my like go into Xero, do emails and stuff like that. Like that's what feels like work. It's like that book work type stuff feels like work to me. because I'm not passionate about that. Like, I'm not passionate about
I haven't met a business owner that is. No, it's so boring.
I don't even, like, when I first got my business card, I didn't know I had to pay myself a wage, and I was like just spending my business money on, like, it wasn't separate. It was just the whole one card. And then the bookkeeper's like,
how am I going to reconcile this?
they're like, so is this all drawings? I was like, what do you mean drawings? Like, what does that mean? Like, I didn't, what is a drawings? I don't know what that means. Like, what do you mean? Like, I was thinking like one of the kids' drawings.
Like a picture,
like
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. And it's like $5 coffee, $20 at Baker's Delight, like all this stuff. And they're like you got to pay yourself. And I'm like, what? No one told me this.
Yeah, this is what we should learn in school.
And then the tax bill that came after that. I'm not like, I was like, oh no, this is terrible. Put that on a payment plan. Far out. Really overspent this year. Anyway, I'm getting better at it, but that's the stuff that feels like work. And people think influencers, like I know people hate influencers. They're like fucking idiots. Like, look at them just like tensing up on their Instagram and like you know, with their lips and stuff. Like, no one likes an influencer, but there's a lot of work that goes in the background. Like the editing and stuff is like hectic. It takes ages.
Most business owners who I speak to, I'm sure everyone has a different experience, but content creation is like their biggest hurdle. It's the hardest thing. It's like showing up, and it's just uncomfortable, honestly, for so many people. That I think they kind of discount anyone who is saying, or that, you know, I guess naysayers, for lack of a better word, against what quote unquote influencers do. They're full-time content creators. Like, that is a hard gig.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely hard. Like, it comes with a lot of like hard bits to it. Like, especially like, you know, it's not like I'm just a face behind like an organization. Like, I'm like sharing my life.
Yeah.
So like it comes with a lot of like criticism, but I know it's my choice to do it as well. And then I look at like my friend's a nurse, right? And she's like, it's like hard. Like, it comes with a lot of criticism. And I'm like, well, what job doesn't really?
Yeah.
So like people like, you know, why are you an influencer if you don't want to get criticized, don't do it. It's like, well, what am I? Well, I'll go work at Macca's and I'll fuck up an order and I'll get criticized too. So like, I'm going to get criticized anywhere I go, really.
100%. And that's such a silly thing to say, because it's also like, that takes the responsibility away from the person saying something. Like, take responsibility. If you're giving hate online, if you're being a keyboard warrior, like, take responsibility. That's your own words. That's your own, you know. I think the whole perspective of, well, they chose to put themselves out there so they deserve criticism can also be such a cop-out, because it's like, we're all adults. Well, teenagers, who knows what age. But at the same time, like, take responsibility for what you're putting out there. If you wouldn't say it to someone in person. But then I guess you've also been doing this so long that you would have, you know, I guess strategies, or like you would, I guess, filter out all the crap, right?
Yeah. It really doesn't bother me. Like, not if someone says something about me. If someone says something about my kids or my husband, then I'm like, well, that's not fair on them.
Yeah.
'Cause I've put them out, so like that's a little bit more like, oh, that's a tough one, like, because they are in my life, so they'll be in, you know, in my photos and stuff sometimes. But yeah, that's a bit more of a tough one. But look, if someone says something about me, I know that it's a them problem. Like, hurt people,
100%.
hurt people. Like, and also I know I'm not going to be liked by everyone. It's physically impossible, like, to be liked by everyone. You just don't, some people just don't like some people, and that's okay. So like, once you're comfortable with that, it makes it a lot easier. But yeah.
For sure. I think that's probably a good reminder for business owners who are feeling that discomfort, because I hear a lot like, oh, you've just got to be confident. But I always think, I don't think confidence is maybe the right approach, because courage doesn't feel good. Courage is putting yourself out there even when you don't feel like it's natural, or it feels, obviously everyone has boundaries of what they don't want to share, but as long as you're within that, it probably will feel uncomfortable when you first start putting yourself out there, building a personal brand and showing up online. But I don't think confidence comes till later.
No.
Would you kind of agree?
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, you've got to really, if you are online, you need to make sure you have the foundations of staying like mentally okay, because it's you are like there's so many trolls out there, and if you are someone who takes things personally, like you are going to struggle. So you have to make sure that you are in a place where you're not going to take things personally, and you just like roll with it. Like you just roll with it.
Have a like real resilience.
You have to be really resilient.
A quick break in the episode to give a huge thanks to our podcast partner, Video Pro. If you're thinking of starting a podcast or just ready to uplevel your content, you need to speak to the team at Video Pro. Their expertise and guidance helped me pick the perfect equipment for this podcast, which saved me hours of confusion. Plus, their outstanding service means I can reach out at any time with questions and get personalized service if I'm feeling stuck. Take this as your sign to upgrade your content or start that dream podcast today. Visit your nearest Video Pro store or shop online at www.videopro.com.au. Now back to the episode.
If you care what people think on the internet, you will not survive and your business won't grow. Like if I cared what people thought of me on my page, I wouldn't be doing so well.
Yeah.
Because I would be so hesitant to put out content. Like some of my content is so cringe and like stupid. Like so many people wouldn't put it out because they care too much.
But that's also like your why, right? Like to be so authentic and to have that humor and to really connect with people, you do need to be unapologetically yourself. And I think that obviously is where that line is, but you have that resilience and that obviously you've been doing it a while as well now. So you've got that experience to really know that, you know, I'm strong in myself. I know why I'm here. And I guess coming back to your why or your purpose would help ground a lot of that criticism.
Yeah.
So can you talk us through your book? Because, well, firstly, so many people have writing a book like on their bucket list on their like, oh my God, one day I would write a book. It's like not everyone, but a lot of us kind of think like that is, you know, I've made it sort of thing. And also because you've single-handedly helped so many mums get through the dreaded putting on sunscreen. My kids hide under the dining table and I have to threaten them that you will look like Willy. And then they kind of come around in like a few minutes. So honestly, you have like revolutionized the applying sunscreen for parents worldwide. So tell us about how it came about and what that whole process looks like.
So I don't know if you know, but my background is childcare. So I worked in childcare like since leaving school. I was in childcare, worked in homes as a nanny, and one thing I always struggled with the kids was getting sunscreen on them without them screaming, and putting a hat on their heads and for them to keep it on. So all of my years, I like read so many books to the kids, and I kind of always knew what kind of books they were interested in, and it was always ones like that were a little bit naughty, like a little bit like with the word bum and like poo, and they love that.
They love it.
They seem to love rhyming books as well. That seems to really captivate them. And there was nothing on sun safety that wasn't like written by the Cancer Council. Like that wasn't just like slip, slop, slap.
It's stale.
It was just like not appealing to kids. Like, unfortunately, kids don't care about skin cancer. They don't care. They're like, they don't even care about death. They don't know what death is. Like, they're like 2. Like, you'll die. Even like I'll be like to my kid, like, if you run on the street, like you'll get hit by a car and probably die. And they're like, okay.
It means nothing to them,
like,
right?
It means nothing to them.
Yeah.
But they don't want to be hurt. Do they? They know that stuff can hurt. Like if you are red and it hurts. So I was like, I want to write a book about sun safety, but make it like funny for the kids, but also like convey that it's so important to wear sunscreen because you will get burnt and it will really, really hurt you. We've all been there. We've all gone, spent 2 days too long in the sun, gone to have a shower and gone, like what the hell, and looked down and your back's red raw. Like we've all done that.
We have.
And it's not till you get to the shower. It's not till you get to the shower and you realise, is it? Like, why is that? Anyway.
The hot water, it sort of like stings.
Yeah.
I had that the other day.
Oh,
yeah.
I could read Willy.
I
know. So I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to write the book. And so I wrote the book. I just started writing and like it was just like a notebook and started writing and then made some calls to printers and I was like, hey, I just like, how much is it to like do a book? And they're like, well, how many pages is it? And I was like, it was something like, I was like 21 or something like that. And they're like, well, you can't do that many pages. I'm like, why? And
Really?
then they explain like the process of like how many pages. It has to be like in multiples of 4, I'm pretty sure, because it's like folded in half and they're bunched together.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So then I didn't know that. So it was like this big learning curve. And then I had who did this illustration, Stacey, she had done like another book. So she kind of knew a little bit more about it. So she was really helpful in that. And it was like a whole learning process of just doing it and then taking it step by step and figuring it out along the way.
That's amazing. And I'm so mind blown, but it makes total sense that you have to do it in multiples of 4. But just things like when you start out at anything, right? Like you don't know what you don't know and you learn so much along the way. Did you have issues with like minimum order quantities or you just went like, no, I just believe in myself. I'm just going to bet on it. I'm going to bet on myself or take a chance. And you just kind of knew it would like work or?
I was hoping it would work because it wasn't cheap. I didn't go to like the cheapest book printer either. I used like, it was like an Australian based company. And I paid, like I know that you can get them much cheaper than what I did, but I knew someone else who used this particular printer and I was like, I just trust that. It was a lot of money. I think it was like I had to fork out maybe like, oh God, it was so much money. I can't remember, but all up I would have spent like 30, 40 grand to kind of start this business. So it wasn't, it was a bit scary. I was like, what if it's shit? And also when like something you have done creative like that, like I kind of know maybe on Instagram my videos won't resonate with everyone and that's fine, but like I didn't want people to be like, your book sucks.
Yeah.
And I was like, that like was kind of really scary to me. It's kind of like with my drum concert I did. I'm like, I don't want to get up there and people are like, she sucks at drums. I feel like I get nervous when it's something creative that's being judged. And because I loved it so much and I was like, I don't want my dreams to be broken right now. Luckily it was received really well.
So well.
And I was like, I felt like it was a lot of money to fork out and like risk. I'm glad I did it though, but I feel like if it didn't go too well, I wouldn't have been too worried because I'm like, I don't know, like money comes
and goes.
Money.
And yeah.
You know, and I know it's important, but I've never been one to like want a lot of it. Yeah.
And I think sometimes also a lot of us go in, you have to have some level of whether you want to call it confidence, delusion. For me, I would categorize myself in the delusional bucket, but you can put yourself wherever feels, I guess, aligned. But you actually, that is like a superpower because when you bet on yourself enough to believe that something you're going to do will work and you just know, it's like an inner knowing, right? And it has to come from a place like the book where it felt really authentic. There was a real purpose. It's not some slapped together kind of thing that you thought, oh, this will make a buck. Like obviously so different. And it comes from such a place of love and passion. I guess that's where that real care and like you want it to succeed, but you also probably had that inner knowing that it would.
Yeah, I think so. I was like, I've got like such a loyal community too. So I was like, even if I sell like 50 like to my community, like that's amazing.
Yeah.
But I ended up selling like 2 full like book prints, like 2 rounds
so
of prints,
incredible.
like, which is so good. So I'm literally sold out at the moment and I'm working on book number 2.
Can we have any hints?
Yeah. It's something that you do twice a day in the morning and the evening.
I'm sure the listeners will know by now. I don't need to reveal it, but I am so excited because my kids, one of them's actually all right, but the other one, it's like you're asking him to vacuum all the floors in the house, or it literally takes 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And they just... And obviously it's like the same with sunburn, right? Like you can't reason with them, saying you'll get cavities or like your teeth will fall out. I mean, I do say that sometimes. I probably shouldn't scare my kids, but I'm so excited.
Like they need to know that it's like, like the pain my husband is in from like not caring for his teeth. I don't want my kids going through that.
Yeah.
I don't want them having like nerve pain in their heads. Like I want them to have strong, solid teeth.
Yeah.
So it's like I know a lot of people need this book. I believe in this book as well. It's a long way to go. I actually reached out to a publisher to see if they wanted to buy the Willie title, but they declined. And you know what? I'm kind of happy they did. I feel like everything happens for a reason.
Sure.
Pretty sure like J.K. Rowling got declined too, so I wasn't taking it personally. Like, didn't she get declined like before?
She did.
Yeah, like heaps of times. Like no one wanted Harry Potter. It's
literally,
like, I just want to be like, it's your fault now.
Yes.
Like, I've just sold 20,000 copies. Like sucked in.
Yeah, literally.
Could have been you.
And it's that whole concept. I always think like life happens for you. Like even at the time, if it's like, it stings a bit in the moment. Yeah. In the future, I'm sure you will look back and you'll be like, that's why it didn't happen. It 100%. Will make so much sense.
100%.
And something
it's just like
bigger.
Trust the process. You got to trust it. If you I'm all about putting myself out there. Like everything I've done has been like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to fucking do it. Like Bachelor, I was like, I'm just going to apply. I'm just going to do it. Went on there. Like everything, the book, I'm like, just going to do it. Like this, like my fitness journey, like doing my 8-week challenge. I'm like, I never thought I would do anything like that. I was like, it's just not me. But I'm like, oh my God, I've done it. And I've literally changed my whole bloody life. Yeah. Like, wow. Like I never thought I'd give up Macca's and I've done it and it's like changed my life. Do you know what I mean?
And now alcohol?
The no drinking.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it.
I love it.
If you like, so that's why I'm like, I'm so happy to fail because you have to have some failures in order to succeed. If you're having no failures, that means you're not putting yourself out there.
Yes.
Like you can't just win.
Yeah.
It's just impossible. You need to do stuff and it's not going to go so good, but you just keep trying, keep putting yourself out there and trying it again and again and again.
And I think this is why I see you as an outsider as being entrepreneurial is because you have that like tenacity to keep going and put yourself out there and be uncomfortable maybe at times, but also just know that like you're moving in the right direction. Even a no is a not right now or a step in the right direction. Like you've just got to keep moving and I guess failing or learning, however you want to kind of categorize it. Like it's all... You take something away from it, even that publisher that said no, even engaging with them, sending them the email, like whatever that looked like, I'm sure there was a learning like in that. And I think that kind of, I guess it's like an attitude, but it's also probably just a belief, like a way you kind of go about life as well. I think that's really what sets people apart that go out and actually achieve their goals and do the things because they don't say no before they even start. Like if you don't try, the answer's already no.
100%. So like how much better is getting an answer no than no answer at all?
Yes.
Like, because then you're still in a step in the right direction, but you're just being declined, but you're still trying to get out of that comfortable space. You've really got to like just do stuff and just take a risk and just believe in yourself and just do it.
100%. So you've got... Is Willie coming back for book 2?
Willie will be back.
Awesome.
But it's going to be a different illustrator. So I don't know if I need to I'm still like, do I redo Willie to match? I don't know. What do you think? I reckon they need to match. I reckon I need to refurbish Willie and relaunch both Willie Edition 2 and the new.
Yeah, like my branding mind says like yes, because they're going to kind of be like brothers or sisters in a sense where you've kind of got that like if I gift one, you kind of want to give both or have them I feel like if it wasn't Willie, you could probably get away with not redoing it. But if Willie, because everyone loves Willie.
He's a good
He's a
guy.
favourite.
He's a good guy. He's a naughty little boy, and he's learning all the lessons himself to share with all of the other little Willies in the world.
Literally. Even she's 20 months now. I never know what to call her. Like, is she a year and a half or two? She's in that awkward in between. But anyway, she can even say Willie, and she goes, Willie, Willie, Willie.
Aww.
And it's just so cute. So, yeah, I love that Willie's back and that book 2 is on its way. What else is in the pipeline for Tara in 2025?
Oh, gosh. A fully random thing, but I'm very much into, like, my mental health space. And I did this therapy with my psychologist, which was amazing, and it changed my life. It's like a form of like NLP therapy, I don't know. Anyway, NLP therapy, it's called timeline therapy, and it was like incredible. It was like a rebirth for me. It was like, I can't even tell you how different the person I am is now to what I was before I did that therapy. Pretty much you go through like your whole timeline, and pretty much everything that you are worried about or that triggers you is something that's in your unconscious mind. And so it's about kind of unlocking those like limitations you have through those beliefs, through that like belief system that you have that's locked away in your unconscious mind. It's kind of like, you know how like what I was saying, like no kid's scared of death because they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's almost like that. Like you're kind of going back to basics, and you're not having anything that's telling you you're unworthy or anything like that, and nothing's like making you anxious anymore because you've said goodbye to all those beliefs that you've been taught.
Sort of like those limiting beliefs that don't feel like limiting beliefs because they're just your beliefs, right?
But you don't know where they're stemming from. They always come from somewhere. If you are like scared of something, it's from something that you've learnt.
Yes.
So, and it's in your unconscious mind, right? And it just stays there. Really interesting with Edie Ray, when she was 8 weeks old, she got really sick, and I bought her, when she was in ICU, I bought her this little nurse toy. Now we recently found it in the bottom of the toy box, and as soon as I showed her, she put it away. I don't like it. Get it away.
Wow.
So even though she can't remember being sick, I reckon in her mind, it's that vision of the toy is relating back to that time of like when she was sick, and when, you know, when like everyone was not okay because we weren't sure if she was going to be okay, made her feel instantly bad. So that's like that's kind of an example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
you don't need to remember the exact point, but your unconscious mind will, but you can't. Anyway, I really want to learn this practice and like be able to be like a practitioner in it. Just like literally, this isn't money driven. Like nothing I do is money driven. Like I do like to make money to like go on holidays and stuff.
Yeah,
and, of course. Like I love it, but I wouldn't do anything that wasn't like true to me. Like I said no to like I had a collaboration offered to me, like a partnership, and it was $7,000, and it was like literally like do one reel, just do one reel for $7,000.
Yeah.
Surely you'd do it, right? Surely. Anyway,
Yeah.
no, because it wasn't like something that was, I'm definitely passionate about what it was, but I didn't know enough about it to feel comfortable to be taking money and talking about it, because it's not my area of expertise. So I just said, no, thank you. So if anything, like I'm saying, like I don't accept everything. Like literally if you see me doing a partnership, I'm 100% like, yes, like I believe in that. That's me to a T.
And that's probably where that, obviously your personal brand and your channel is very authentic, but also why the brands you work with have that like long-term sustainable, I guess, way of working, because you are selective, and you can even see that when you're looking at your personal brand really critically, because it's not a new brand every week. Like I could probably name 3 brands you work with because I see that consistency and you actually use them and they're part of your life. It's not like here's the thing, I love it.
Yeah.
So
One thing that I've really realized through what I do is that loyalty is the number one thing for me that's made me go where I am today. Like I can make a really good living off being an influencer, and I just put that down to being loyal to the people that I work with and not being greedy. I don't think that you can be a good influencer and have longevity if you are being greedy and you're just taking every job. I say no to so many things if they don't suit me. And a lot of the collaborations I do, I will like have been using the brand for ages first, and I'll go, hey, like management, can you just tell this brand that I like love them and I would love to work with them, you know, that type of thing. So it's all very, very like loyal and very
organic. Yeah, for sure. Tara, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day with your 2 toddlers and your business and everything going on. I've actually loved diving into probably a different side of what you are used to speaking about on podcasts. I definitely think you're an amazing woman in business, and you can walk away hopefully, believing that yourself. But obviously it comes from a place of, just real purpose and creativity, and probably why it doesn't feel like quote unquote business.
Yeah, purpose. I'm like purpose driven for sure. But I think that really helps have a successful business, because then people just know that it's like the real deal, right?
Yeah.
People believe you, they trust you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we can't wait to see what you do next, and I'll definitely put in my pre-order for Willie brushing his teeth part 2.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. While you're feeling inspired and empowered to dream bigger, go and turn this energy into bold action, and then report back. My DM's are always open. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you're subscribed so that you're the first to know when a new chat drops. You never know what conversation could change your trajectory. Until next time, wishing you wealth, wellness, and all of the opportunities. Now go get it.